Blog Talk Radio, the world's largest online radio network.
I guess it's going to be one of those mornings. BlogTalkRadio.com. It's Cassandra Calloway, and we are live. Here, the pick of the day, last night, today, that's right. We are celebrating my dog, my girl, Michelle Thomas's birthday. That's right. She was born on September 23rd. She's an angel right now, but her mom and everybody's going to be calling in. This is how we're doing it. This is how Megan happened. I'm so sorry if you just happened to miss the caliosity that was put down last night at the KIS Foundation. Kiki Shepard, those cats, man, we had an amazing time. We put it in, and I just want to just say thank you to everybody for coming out to the KIS Foundation. I want to thank Rich Sister, and I want to thank Ed Lips and Dana Keel for coming out and doing their thing and making sure that we had an amazing time. Like I said, today's show, we are remembering an angel, my girl, Michelle Thomas. Happy birthday, dog.
Hey, Callywood Nation and Callywoodites. It's Callyism time. The Callyism question for today is, which is worse, failing or never trying? Which is worse, failing or never trying? Hey! Callywood Nation, did you know the average person spends 3 years of their life on the toilet? Hey!
This is Callywood Live, September 22nd, and we are celebrating the birthday of Michelle Thomas, one of my dear friends who's an angel right now. Some of our celebrity friends are going to be calling in, sharing stories. And if you have a story that you want to share about Michelle Thomas, give us a call at 347-637-3016. I want to welcome everybody into the chat room. What's going on, Eric? Award-winning Neo Soul 2012 Callywood artist, Mr. Eric McAllister, up in the house. What's going on? I'm trying to have new glasses. Soul Spark Magazine, what's happening? What's going on to Mr. Ed Lips? I know you tired. We put it in last night at the KIS Foundation. I've re-edited the show. I realized that at some point we got muffled, and hey, we need more help, making it happen, Captain. I want to say what's going on to all the guests in the chat room. Instead of me saying guest in your number, hey, guest, why don't you go register? It takes less than 5 minutes, and I can say, what's going on, Eric? What's going on, Ed? What's going on, Soul? This is how we're doing it. We're celebrating the birthday of Michelle Thomas, but right now what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little. We got to talk some sports, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Y'all ready to tell me how? Explain to me, how did Vince Young spend $26 million? Somebody tell me this. He would spend $5,000 a week at TGI Friday. I wish that I could be part of his camp. I really do. To blow $26 million in a short span of time, I don't know what's happening, but we were talking sports right now, and that is a little segue into sports. And here's another little tidbit, too. Terrell Owens says he only made $4,300 when he was with the Seattle Seahawks, because they trying to get him for child support. I really want to know what happened to all of his money, too. We need better investments, and if you're having a problem and you can't get a loan, then you need to. They're messing with your credit. They won't give you a house. They won't give you a car. You need to call United Credit Education Services so they can help you restore your credit. Give them a call at 310-864-6258. That number again is 310-864-6258. This is how we're putting it down to Callywood Nation. And football was on and popping last week. I said the Jets were going to do it, and they killed the Steelers 7-3. That's how it's making it happen. Now I don't see how the Seahawks beat Cowboys 27-7. They did their thing. The Rams beat the Redskins 31-28. The Chargers beat the Titans 38-10. The 49ers, yes, Randy Moss did get another touchdown, 27-19. The Falcons beat the Broncos 10-0. They were putting it down this past Sunday, and this Sunday coming up, we have some games that are going on. I cannot wait for football tomorrow because the Cowboys are playing the Buccaneers. And I think the Cowboys are going to definitely take that one. I'm going to take the Cowboys over the Buccaneers for tomorrow. I'm taking the Bills over the Browns for tomorrow. I'm taking definitely the Jets over the Dolphins because I'm just a straight New York fan. The 49ers over the Falcons without a doubt. The Cardinals are going to kill the Eagles. Because I don't even know what's going on. The Eagles need definite help over there. The Broncos and the Titans are playing. I have to come back to that one. The Patriots and the Ravens, I'm going to just give, you got to give it up to the Patriots. This is how we're doing it. It's sports. We're making it happen, Captain. Today we're celebrating the birthday of Michelle Thomas. Give us a call at 347-637-3016. That number again is 347-637-3016. Family Matters. Michelle Thomas, best known for Myra on Family Matters. She was also on the Cosby Show as well. We're waiting for fans and family to call in, share their stories. If you have a story when you met Michelle, give us a call at 347-637-3016. That number again is 347-637-3016. Today is September 22nd, 2012. So it's talking about the things that last night we were at the KIS Foundation with Kiki Shepard, and we put it in, man. We had so much fun from some of the guys from Grey's Anatomy to wow, how many people I just had a brain flash. Sally Richardson and Dondre. I hadn't seen Sally and Dondre in a while. They have two beautiful children. Michael Jai White was there. He was playing pool. Kiki Shepard. What's my guy's name from The Blind Side? So we had a really good time. Of course, we're on the Blog Talk page for yesterday's show and today's show, trying to put in big numbers. If you want to be a sponsor, if you want to get in on this Calliosity, if you want to help us get to Taste of Soul next month, give me a call at 323-302-2981. 323-302-2981. Keep an eye on the chat room, guys, for me. Last week, we had some interesting things going on, and right before the show ended, somebody ordered a gang of pizzas and gave my phone number, and my email address, and they delivered pizza to the wrong house, and, for 45 minutes, I had somebody, pizza, and then I got emails. At some point, they called 7 different pizza locations, so we got some trolls going on, so keep an eye on the chat room for me. Let me know, give me a text, because I get caught up with the guests and everybody on the phone lines. What's going on today? 818 the 323s, the 909s, the 202s, the 917s, the 832s, and everybody's sitting up in the chat room. Hey, guests, instead of me saying guest in your number, why don't you go get a name like Eric McAllister did, Ed Libbs did, and His World, His Way. What's going on? Welcome to the Calliosity that we put down each and every Saturday on Callywood Live. You can go to CallywoodMedia.com. That's right, CallywoodMedia.com, and find out all the showtimes listing. 60-year-old Ohio woman, her name is Valerie. I'm just not even going to get her last name, okay? I'm just call her Valerie. Valerie finds out that she has married her own father. Okay? Now, she found out at 9 that her grandparents weren't really her parents, but then her mother was a lady of the night, and daddy was 15. But after, I don't know what made her think after he passed away to test the DNA to find out if he was her father. And what happens? We find out Looney Tunes. Hey, this
is Penwa. You can't hear me?
I can hear you now, baby doll.
Hi. I can't make too much noise. Hi.
No, it's not too much noise because we are here. We are partying now. I've already played. I'm trying to, I've already played. Before I go, I'm going to play a clip for you. You tell me if you remember this, okay?
Oh, my God. Okay.
Okay, because now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the mother of the friend of mine we've been partying for. This is her birthday party. Tomorrow's her birthday. She's an angel right now. Penwa, welcome to the Callywood Nation, baby.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you guys for keeping her memory alive. It's amazing that the people who she was able to touch when she was here on this planet, and all the people that she continues to touch now that she's gone. It's so fantastic. And it's because of people like you and people that love her, her memory will always be alive. She sure spread a lot of love around this planet when she was here. So we're just trying to keep the tradition alive. And I'm so grateful. It's a bittersweet situation, September 23rd, the best day of my life. And it could be the worst day of my life, but I'm not going to let that happen. It's always a celebration to celebrate this girl.
Oh, and we're gonna party. We're gonna party. But I know you remember
when you know, I'm gonna play this clip. Let me. And I'm not trying to make you cry, but you know, I want you to know, just because we're friends, I want you to know I did my homework.
They'll be happy tears. Okay.
Okay, and without a doubt, take a listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
We're here with our good friend Hal Jackson, creator and producer of Hal Jackson's Talented Teens International, a very meaningful pageant now in its 15th year, which annually judges young ladies between the ages of
13 and 16.
13 and 16 on poise and various kinds of performing talent, right?
Really, and really trying to develop them down, and it's been a real sensational thing in the last 15 years to see how these young ladies have gone on to, you know, perfect the art.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about this year's winner here.
Oh, she's a doll. We had the finals down in Montego Bay. They were down in Jamaica for a whole week, and there were about 40 contestants with the chaperones. And this little lady came out on top. It was a fantastic reception by the folks of Jamaica down there. Her name is Michelle Thomas, and Michelle is from Montclair, New Jersey, and she's 15 years old.
Mm-hmm. She's a singer. Good singer.
Good singer.
I'm told that you found out belatedly that she is the daughter of a good friend of mine, the saxophone player with Kool and the Gang, known to us as D.T., but his real name is Dennis Thomas. And this is Michelle Thomas. Meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
I'm a longtime fan of your father's and the band, and now I'm a fan of yours.
Thank you.
How did you happen to enter in the pageant?
Well, a friend of my mother's heard me sing before, and she requested that I entered Miss Talented Teen.
And you just kind of blew them away with your singing, right? Not quite, but you did okay, right?
Yes.
What were some of the prizes you won?
Well, I won a diamond ring, a fur jacket, a cash scholarship for college, and I won various trips and prizes as I'm going back to Jamaica, the Virgin Islands, and different islands, and here in Los Angeles for Soul Train.
What would you like to do in the future, career-wise?
Well, actually, there's so many different fields to go into now, and so many that I want to go into, that right now I'm just taking different courses in school, and soon I will know what I would like to be, and whatever field that is, I'll have experience in it as far as school.
Well, we're delighted to have you with us. We wish you much continued success.
Thank you.
Thank you. Also, Hal. How about it for Hal Jackson and Miss...
Hey. Hey. Oh, God. You forget, when she was, you know, I used to tell her all the time, I would say, like, Michelle, really, don't try to plan me. I was 7 at one time. She'd be like, really, Mommy? You know? And when I hear her at 15, she was already just as polished and as poised, and it's great. It's just great to hear that voice like that. The innocence of life. She had on her little flaps and her little pearls. And I know people call them the old days, but it never changes on how you raise children. I don't care what times the times are. If they have love and discipline and, you know, a schedule and, you know, they turn out really good. You know what I mean?
She did. She became a very good friend of mine. And I was, and I'm kicking myself trying to, because I want to say, and I'm actually, we're about to put the extra on blast. We might just call the extra from the phone right now, because I want to say the extra introduced me to Michelle. I'm not sure, but you know. I really don't remember, because the extra will probably get on here and say that I
tell us all about it. Right.
So this is what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna have a Callywood music mix, right? And then we're gonna get the extra on the phone, and we're gonna clear this up, because I'm gonna let
but wait a minute. Let me just say this to you. You guys, I'm on the set. I'm working, so I'm gonna have to go and show my face again, and then come back and call you back.
Okay, now let's hold on. We have one more. I got you, because we here for 3 hours. So, and if you keep calling back, this whole show.
Yes, I can.
This whole show is about Michelle Thomas. Now at 1 o'clock we have the incredible Jeff
Fox going to be on here, so we'll talk about that. But hold on, we got some calls, so hold on a second. 11111, you got your hand up. Who's this?
Okay. Hello?
Yes, who's this?
Yeah, this is Jay calling.
Hey, Jay, what you got to say? You here to celebrate Michelle Thomas's birthday?
Yeah. I'm here to celebrate Michelle Thomas' birthday. I'm a big fan of Michelle Thomas, and I just want to say that her last moments, I remember her when she played on the soap opera. I think it was Young and the Restless.
Mhm.
And it's just amazing how the cast had, put her part in there, and come to find out that she really passed away. And I thought she was a very beautiful young lady playing in the Young and the Restless, and I was looking for more of her, and I didn't realize that she was sick. So I just want to say, I thank her for all the memories that she has did here on this earth, and she will be someone that will be cherished every single day. And I want to thank you all for celebrating her birthday.
Well, I had to do it because this lady on the phone right here, her mother, Benoit, what do you have to say?
I just wanted to thank you for her memory, but I wanted to say to you, Michelle was not sick. Michelle had a health opportunity, and once they operated on her, that's unnecessary. That's what took her out of here, actually. She wasn't sick and she wasn't suffering. She called it a health opportunity, and she had no intentions on not being here. She just thought she'd be able to come and get this little surgery because they kept insisting, and she was going to go back to work. But God obviously had other plans. And I just want to thank you so much for remembering her. Thank you for watching. When she was on the Young and the Restless, those were some of her last days on this planet. But I think somehow Michelle always knew that she had a job to do, and that's why she lived her life to the fullest every day. I mean, Michelle skydived. Michelle parasailed. She had no fear. She put a hand all the way down a dolphin's throat. I mean, it was ridiculous, the way she lived her life. Just, she didn't leave one stone unturned. And and that's a message for all of us, to follow and to live our lives. And every day she would wake up just happy to be here. She'd sign every autograph until she had writer's cramp. She lived for the fans. I would say, come on, baby, we got to go. And she was like, no, don't worry. And the people sweeping up the place, she'd sign autographs for them, too, and she meant it. She wasn't doing it like it was a job. She did it because it came from her heart, and she knew that every heartbeat that she experienced were from those people, the fans. That's what made her. And so I want to thank you. Thank you. When people say, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss, it's like, I'm sorry you never met her. Really.
Yes.
My sorrow goes,
I can tell her personality is definitely genuine. She wasn't somebody who, looked at the fame and said, I'm this type of person, but she looks like she's genuine even with the fame. And, I wish I could have met her. And I just want to say you raised a great actress.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I raised a great kid. I trained her professionally for the business, and I trained her professionally to be a great daughter. I thank you so much. Thank you very much.
We have another fan on the phone. Is this Mr. Eric McAllister, 818-391? 818-391. Is this Eric McAllister?
391. No, it's the extra.
Oh, my darling. Hi, I love you.
Hey, I love you.
It's Mom.
Hey, Mom, how you doing?
I miss you. How are you?
I miss you too. I'm good. I am good.
I need a hug from you.
I know. We're gonna make that happen real soon.
We gotta make that happen real soon.
Yeah, we're gonna really make that happen.
Working. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been ripping and running like crazy. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, Michelle. Oh my God, where do I begin? Where I don't even,
wait, D, did you introduce me to Michelle, or did I introduce you to Michelle?
No, I think I introduced you to Michelle. Or might have been vice versa. I can't remember. I remember because we was always together, but I can't remember. We were at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles or somewhere.
You know what? You take it. You introduced me to Michelle. Go ahead. Go with your story.
Okay.
Well, God introduced me to Michelle.
There you go. Naturally through his light. There you go. So, but when I think of Michelle, my whole world, my thinking pattern, my mindset, my thinking everything changed immediately.
Yeah.
Because of the joy, number one, that she brought, the love that she has for so many people. She was a genuine person, a genuine soul, a genuine spirit. And I remember when Michelle and I first linked up, you know, we would crack jokes, and we went to University City Walk, and we hung out. And that first night, after everybody had left, I think Jay Brown was with us and a few other people, and they all left. And Michelle and I, we stayed up at City Walk till 8 the next morning in the garage talking about life.
She told me about that.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
She told me that's some deep stuff.
Yeah.
And she was deep like that. And what's really amazing to me is that the people like yourself who was able to accept her and recognize that this wasn't your ordinary girl. This girl was not sent. This girl was not from this planet. Like you, Alameda Ballard. I mean, there's so many people, and I feel sorry for, like I was just saying, for the folks that did not get to meet her, and the ones that did and passed it off for something else, or missed the whole meaning why God was blessing you with this child. See, we're all here to learn something from each other.
Oh,
Everyone has gifts that we have to share and exchange, and no one has less than anybody else. Michelle somehow went through this world, and everyone that she met, she felt she had something to learn from that person. It's not like she was walking around saying, oh, I got something to teach somebody. She felt she had to learn from each and every being of God, and that's what made her spirit so light and so magnificent.
Right. She was a sponge who absorbed, but yet she was a dispenser of what she knew and what she learned.
Yeah,
and that was great. We would go to the movies. And she could pick out everything that was right about a scene and wrong about a scene, from the production and everything. And I said, Michelle, why you just?
She couldn't help it. I taught her that from day one.
Right.
She pulled out, I remember she had to be about 7 years old. I can't remember what movie it was. She said, Mommy, I just saw the boom. I said, you damn right, I saw it too. And we would sit up there and just kiki. She was like 7. I said, don't ever let that happen. She said, oh, Mommy, how did they miss that? Just like that. And it was just the way our life was. You know, she could also pull out music. Like, they weren't even really sampling like they are now, but she would pull out pieces of music. Like, but I'll never forget when Ralph Tresvant did that Marvin Gaye tune. He sampled something, and she just could not believe that Marvin Gaye stole Ralph Tresvant's song. That's what it was. We laughed so hard that day. I said, child, Marvin Gaye been dead 20 years now. Listen, Marvin Gaye ain't stole nothing from no Ralph Tresvant. You need to just calm that down. But she was all ready to stand up and defend her friend. It's too much. She was too much. Yes,
she was exactly.
Yeah, and we would talk.
True friend. Send you to the end.
And we would talk. We would talk to the wee hours of the morning.
Yes.
I mean, and get this. We would talk about life and life after this life.
Yeah, she knew that girl was so deep. That girl would say things to me. I'm trying to write this book now, The Extra, and I need for all you all to write that stuff down, because she used to say things to me that would blow my mind. when she was 6 years old, when she was 7 years old. And I was like, yo, I'll never forget. I mean, not too long, I got off a flight and I was like really, really hungry, and we was walking up Sunset. And I was like, Michelle, Mommy's got to eat. It was one of them days. And she pulled out a donut peach. And I had never seen one before. And I'm a chef. and she said, here, Mommy, eat this. And I was like, what is? She said, just bite it. And I did it. And I was like, oh, my God. She said, Mommy, that's the first thing they give you when you get to heaven.
Wow.
And I stopped.
Wow.
I swear to God, I'm going to start crying. I just stopped in my tracks. I said, baby, oh, my God. I said, how do you know? She said, I remember. She said, I didn't remember it until I tasted it. I wanted to know if you remembered. I said, no, Michelle, I've never tasted anything like that before. She said, I know where you're going, or something like that. And we just laughed. But it was moments like that she's had since she was like 3 or 4 years old. She used to blow my mind.
Right.
And I just want to thank you for being such a good friend to her. She loved you so much.
Oh my God!
I just want to
oh my
thank
God! You have no. I know you know because we used to have these conversations, but we used to talk about because this is what's crazy. I'm just being forthright with the audience and everything. I was so blown away with her. We started dating, and we was like, okay, and she had this thing about her. I always felt like I cannot measure up to this.
She made you feel not worthy.
No,
she made
it wasn't
you
because
feel
of her.
Like I'm not worthy.
It wasn't. Yeah, but she had this thing about her where she knew so much about life and knew so much, and we would, the deepness of it.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And so even after the dating, we remained even closer. We were just so close, and we were so. Whenever she had any situation, any problem, she would call me. I mean, the wee hours of the morning. She woke me up every single morning and said, "Good morning, good morning, Pumpkin. Good morning? Are you bushy tailed?" And every single morning, every morning, without fail. She always woke me up every morning.
You were her friend, and that's what was important to her. Besides anything else, she taught me how to love. She taught me the properties of what a best friend and a good friend is supposed to be like and what it's supposed to do. And to this day, I hold that in high esteem. Like when I say, like if you look at my Twitter page and it says, the best friend you ever have, I mean that, honey. I'm not just an animal that Michelle was. Okay? I am in your face with my finger saying, oh, nigga, I don't think so. I'm for that one. Okay? But as far as the best friend you ever have, yes, that's who I am. And she has taught me to hold that in high esteem and know that I deserve nothing else but that same quality from a person, even though she was able to accept people on every level. And I'm a snob.
On every level. Yes.
No. Yes. You piss me off, I won't ever speak to you again. She was like, Mommy, you have to forgive them. I'm like, I'm not Jesus. I can't. You know, what do you want from me? And she's like, no, Mommy, you have to forgive them. And I was like, girl, please. So I'm learning. I'm getting better.
Right. And funny story. I mean, I got so many.
I was about to ask you this. I was about to ask you this. Tell us your funniest Michelle Thomas story.
Okay. I got so many. One of my. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, the only reason why I had to interrupt is because y'all talk so much, people might have forgot that it was Callywood. So I just wanted to ask you, while y'all just run over the mouth, I forgot whose show it was. So go ahead, tell us. We ain't gonna interrupt you. We're gonna let you give us your best Michelle Thomas story. Go ahead, give it to us.
Well, one of my funniest stories with Michelle is this. We were riding through the canyon. And going through Laurie Canyon, and we was going up to Hollywood Hills. So, of course, we would always listen to, like, Faith Evans or whoever was hiding. And every time we were in the car, we would just sing. Michelle loud, I'm loud, we doing harmonies. And so Michelle tapped me, because I was driving my, you remember my little black truck. I had a little Range Rover. I had a Co. So I'm going through the hill, and I'm trucking. And she taps me on my shoulder. She said, hey, let's do something crazy tonight. And by this time, I think it was around, I want to say around 10, 11 o'clock at night. And we're going up through Hollywood Hills. And Michelle goes, she said, let's just do something real crazy. And I said, okay. I said, for real? She said, yeah, because, you know, let's just be crazy tonight. I said, okay, let's be crazy. And she goes, So we ride. I said, well, you think of something. And then we noticed all these cars is parked on a slant up in Hollywood Hills, leading up to a gated house. And she goes, hey, it looks like a party going. Is a party going on? So I slowed in, I looked. I was like, yeah, it's a party going on over there. And she goes, let's crash it.
Yep.
She said, let's go crash it.
Yep.
I was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, let's go. So I jumped out of the truck, boom, grab her by the hand, and we walking up to the hill and going around, go through the gate, people smiling. Now, mind you, we're the only blacks that's in there.
But y'all was supposed to be in there.
Right.
That's all.
So we going in there, and we shaking people's hands, and Michelle like, oh, how you doing? And she was like, yeah, this is my husband, the extra. Nice to meet you. And I'm like, how you doing? And then we grabbing the plate, grabbing food, and of course she was very, very picky. She got me on a little health kick, like not eating that. So she wouldn't eat, but she just grabbed the plate for props, and the cup for props just to walk around. And she could not, she just, in her acting mode, as great as an actress as she was, she kept snickering because I'm walking up and saying, hi, how you doing? Hey, like I know her, hey, how you doing? And hugging people like, hey, what's going on? I see you about pointing, doing the whole pointing the finger. Yeah. And she was cracking up. And then after we had been there for maybe like 25, 30 minutes, we said, okay, we're going to go now. We're going to go. And we see the people's faces looking at each other like, oh, okay, who are they? Like, okay. Yeah. We got outside of those gates, and Michelle laughed so hard that tears was coming out of her eyes. She was crying. She was crying so hard, I had to pick her up and take her back to the truck. We laughed so hard. And I was like, she said, I'm like, I can't believe you made me do that. She was like, you did it too, D.
Yes, you did.
We pulled that one off. We laughed about that one. We crashed an unknown party, and it was like these. Oh my God, it was all adults.
Here's the whole funny thing about the whole thing. Michelle didn't even understand her celebrityism at the time. You see what I'm saying? Because she was on one of the number one shows on ABC. She could have walked in. It wasn't even about that. But these people recognize, and
that's how fickle they are. Michelle would walk and go into the mall and say, Mommy, I'm tired of these shoes. Let's go get some sneakers. And I'm like, okay. We park the car. We jump up, go get, and there'll be like hordes of people. We'd have to get security to take her out of the mall. She was like, well, what is going on? I'm like, baby, I don't think you could just go buy sneakers like this no more. I would leave her. I was like, I'm leaving you. I am getting in the car, and because I would get paranoid because she was so tiny. And then this one guy tried to pick her up and take her. So I was like, oh, no. I said, Baker, I'm going to get arrested again, Lord, Father God. Listen, these people are looking for me. I'm going to call back and give me another 20 minutes. I'll call you guys back.
Okay, so wait. All right, so Pam, I'll call back. And we're going to tell some more Michelle Thomas stories. Because I got a story about
send me a tape.
It's Blog Talk. We got to go to www.callywoodmedia.com.
Oh, well, good. Well, then okay, don't talk to me like I was born in 1917. I get it. I know. But I'm just saying. All right? I'm going back to work. All right? I'll be right back. Yes, I love you.
I love you too, Mama. I love you too.
Don't make me call you back.
Okay, and we'll be talking.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, don't make me call you down. Now, my Michelle Thomas, I have so many Michelle Thomas stories, but one of my favorite Michelle Thomas stories is it was Thanksgiving, and this had to have been like 97, 98, because I was working for Tony Braxton at the time, and I was in New York, and I hadn't been in New York in so long, and my nephews were in Jersey, so and Pinoy and those lived in Jersey, right? And here's the crazy part. They literally lived like 5 minutes from my brother's house, like literally 5 minutes.
Wow.
So me and my nephew Jamel, and I think Jamel was like 7 or 8 now. By now he's been on stage with Tony Braxton, hanging out with Mike Tyson and everything. But when I told him we were going to Michelle's house, man, he was like he freaked out more than when he met Halle Berry. Okay. All right. I think he went to the bathroom on himself on that one. Right. But,
You know, so we get over to the condo. DT's down in the studio. He's making music. You know, he's doing his thing. We go up. Benoit's got macaroni and cheese, potato salad, turkey, ham, just all his food. We stayed there laid out. We stayed there the whole day. I think we ate 3 times. We took naps. You know what I'm saying? That's
awesome.
How comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how comfortable it was. You know. Then I think about like back in the early '90s when we was running, man. And remember when I did the Jay Leno show and you and Michelle, everybody came over to the crib. We had the party and just the spontaneous. Like I really want to say, yo, I want to do something, because I got a nice little crib now, and I really want to do something, right? And call, back in the day, but then I don't want to call, and then nobody show up, because then my feelings get hurt. Because, like back in the day, I say, yo, the extra, man, I'm doing something, and on Tuesday, and everybody from Vivica, everybody's at the crib.
Right.
So
I was about to interrupt you and let you know, you never was throwing no events and nobody showed up, because every Hollywood major actress was there, so I know I witnessed that for myself. I'm like, oh my God, Visca Cinnabon, oh my God, Liz Michaud in here, oh my God, Jada, oh my God, Cole, you're the lady, Cassandra. God dang, I should have been a pimp. I should have been a pimp. I would have got paid more. If
I knew what I know now, I would have did that whole joint, I would have charged you cats a mission.
Right.
I think you know how much money y'all owe me. You owe me. Every time I see y'all cash, I should just be putting $100 bills in my pocket. Y'all should just make it rain. They just put it in my pocket because I ain't no strip, I ain't on no pole. But you know what I'm saying? Every time I see y'all need to just be paying me. I think y'all just owe me just on the street.
Right, need to be making it rain in your hand, huh?
Exactly. Every time you get back deep, every time you see me, you should be making it rain. Between not just that, the joint when we went to the party, and then I'm a little upset because you told me, you and Michelle went out and you held hands and you act like, you did that with me too. You know what I'm saying? You did that with me too. Can you do that with everybody? You know what I'm saying? So what? What's the deal, man? So you just for hire? You just for
only for the
hire?
special ones.
So how many special ones are there? I mean, I thought you did that to me. I thought I was the only one. Now Michelle special, and then Ron special. Everybody's special. Now I'm the special boss. What's the deal?
Well, you know what? I was young and I was just kind of finding my way through this life, coming out here got off the plane fresh from D.C. and was like, okay, let me figure out my way around here. And we had record deal and with MCA Records and all of that. So, and my mind was just blown at the time. At instantly the first celebrity event that I ended up going to, at the release of our single was your basketball game. The event that you remember the one you had where it was outside and Jada and Marlon and all of us was there. Marlon Wayans and it was
that's the one. That's the one. I have the.
Was it the Forum? That's the one at the Forum.
No.
Okay.
Really? No, that wasn't the one when Michelle Thomas scored. That wasn't.
No. That was the next one. That was the one after that. When you had we had the little jerseys on with Cozy Entertainment on. Well, you had a few of those, but the first one with Michelle and I brought Marlon to that one. Remember Marlon Wayans and all of us came up and Omar Epps and all of us came.
Yeah, because actually that video's up because I put up the video of Michelle scoring her points, you giving her the basket, Chris Spencer throwing up a 3. That's up on YouTube if you go to Callywood 2009. In fact, get somebody in chat room put it up. That man.
Yeah.
Man, we gonna have to have a remembering the extra show.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you the cool thing, and I want to give you your props for this while I'm thinking of it right now. One of the coolest things that always stuck with me about you, Cole, was that after Michelle had passed away, transitioned, I remember that night you held an event to all the crew just get together at the bowling alley, right off of Wilshire, I believe it was.
Oh, dude, Whitney was there.
Yeah, I remember. I mean,
Usher was there.
Ali, Muhammad Ali's daughter, and it was and you did that in remembrance of her as a memorial, a tribute to her, and that's always showed that it wasn't about let's just be, grieve, and because you got to go through the grieving process. But our way of, you did it the Michelle way. Let's have fun and show some smiles, because this is what Michelle would have wanted. And till this day, I still got the. Oh, go ahead.
Do you have the tape of that?
I have a tape. No, I have a audio tape. One of the last time that Michelle had called me before she passed away, because we was out on the road on tour and had just gotten back. It was before Christmas, and we had a show to do. And she had called me just before I talked to her. And she called, and back then we had the answering machine, we had the voicemail, but I still had one of the answering machines where you can still record digitally. I kept that machine simply because the message that Michelle left to me, and that message, she says, "Well, I'm going to." She said, "I don't know where." She said, "I don't know." She said, "I don't know if you're back yet or when you're getting back or whatever." She said, "But it's not looking really, really good." And she says, "But I want you to know." I'm sure she said, and then Mama said, "Well, I already know I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to see you, so I'm not worried about that. But just in case, I want you to know that I love you more than anything. I love you, and I wish you well, and may you receive everything that the universe has to offer you." And she said, "I wish you nothing but peace, joy, and happiness." And then at the end of that, she said, "So call me when you get this message." But and so I kept that. It was
Michelle way.
In her way. So it was, and I said, "You know what? I'm keeping this. I'm going to keep it till I get it, digitally, recorded in some safe place." And every time, I would feel down about something or whatever, and I remember, and she also had said something to the effect like, "You remember, you are great, you are good, go for it." This and that. Now she had another conversation with Jay Brown too. We were together, and we said, "Let's stop." She said, "I want to stop over at Jay's house." I said, "Okay," and I pulled over, and she talked to Jay, and she was like, "Jay, make sure that you do what's right and do and whatnot." And Jay was like, "Okay, I got you," and it was the hardest thing for me to call all those people that we knew to tell them that she was no longer here with us in the physical. That was, and when I talked to Penwell, when I talked to Ma, and she would tell you all she could hear was probably sobs. It was just sobs. And she was giving me comfort. And she was giving me the strength. And she was just saying, "Look, Michelle loved you. You take that with you. You take that with you everywhere you go." And and that gave me so much strength and whatnot. But I mean, my stories with Michelle, as you know, can go on and on. Just as yourself, you had shared so many moments with her, and I just, I say there isn't a day that goes by when I don't think of her. There isn't a day that goes by when something about her doesn't cross my mind. I could be going somewhere and certain songs will come on, and she would say, "Oh, sing that, D, sing that, sing with that," and then she was something else. And I hear those songs on the radio, or like on KJLH or 102.3 or something, turning the stations, and some of that real good music, that real music, or in my own iPod collection or whatever, and say, "Oh, that was Michelle's song right there." That was something that she really loved. And I remember we worked up on when she got the part over on Young and the Restless. And I would go over there. Well, I used to go up on the set with her with Family Matters as well. But when she got the Young and the Restless role, playing Callie, she would call me and say, "Hey, meet me over there, the CBS parking lot, or come through." And I remember, I wasn't, at the time, I wasn't doing anything on the show, but because she was singing, she said, hey, this is my producer, this is my vocal producer, this is my blah, blah, blah. Make sure he's straight. And she would let them know, like, no, I can't be there until I make sure he has his badge and so forth. I mean, just the effort that she showed to make sure, because I was, at that time, I was still doing music and producing, but I was trying to make that transition because I was writing screenplays and trying to transition into the television and film world. And she, she was giving me a lot of pointers and saying, okay, I'm going to help you, doing a little acting, and she would help me with that when I was studying under Aaron Spicer back in the day. And she would say, okay, let's go with some monologues, and then when I got the role, one of Dave Talbert's play, the Fool and His Money, the stage play. I got that because Dave Hollister had to leave, and he was playing James Jr. at the time, and the singer Dave Hollister was in that role, and he had to leave to go work on his album with Eric Sermon. And so and Dave called me and got me, said, hey, you saying you're trying to act, you want to get your acting on? And I was like, yeah, and I came out, they flew me out, Dave Talbert and flew me out to Houston, and I had to learn basically how to, do a major role within 2 days, and sing 3 songs, in the play. So, and I heard that they have Fool and His Money now, or I guess on BET or something like. And I'm so proud to have been a part of that. We travel across, the United States performing, live stage play. But she was so happy for me. She applauded me. She supported me. She's okay. Well, do this. This is how you do. Think of this as method acting, or this make your technique like this, or kind of think of this when you want to get into the depth of the character. And so it went beyond us, having dating or best friends, but it's professionally as well, and she was just wonderful. If I had to have any words to sum up Michelle Thomas, it is wonderful, wonderful, and I can't.
And there's so many more words that describe her. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's never anything negative that anybody could ever have to say about her as a person. I remember my mom had some friends in town, and this is when George's was hot. Remember George's restaurant?
Yeah, I remember George's. Yeah.
Owned by Denzel Washington, whatever. But
right.
I had to play a Hollywood tour guide, and Michelle went with me. Okay, and she sat down at George's, and we had dinner, and we did the whole little thing. She signed the autograph. She was like the thing. She did it, and then at one point for like 10 years, I was giving away Christmas trees and gifts and stuff like that.
Right.
To the people who would do, write letters to the radio station. And the first year I decided to do this. Right, I get the truck, and I get these trees and ornaments and these letters, and we're going into Nickerson Garden. Now it's just me and Michelle, right? We have no clue. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what Nickerson Garden is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're just trying to, do our part, because, me giving you a $25 candle made no sense when that $25 can feed a family, for 2 days on for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. And so me and Michelle, so after, got the letters, everything, got the truck, so we went back to the Beat at the time, and they were on Yucca. And so we're sitting there, and so the program director's like, this is really cool, you're going to go. So, I gave him the list of places. You guys are going to the Nickerson Garden. And me and Michelle were like, yeah. Y'all can't go with the Nickerson Garden by yourself. We're like, why? They're like, Nickerson Garden is like the roughest area and whatever. I'm like, well, nothing's going to happen to us. Long story short, we ended up having to have a police escort to get out of Nickerson Garden.
Right.
But here's the funny though. Right? So, you know how I am, right? You know how uptight I am. But Michelle, it was like night and day. Shelly was like, so Cassandra, it's okay. Just relax. They're gonna get us out of this. And I'm going, I should have thought about this better. This doesn't make any sense. I should have been told this. Cassandra,
Right.
You know, God's not going to let anything happen to us, you know. Now, you know, maybe we should have listened to the cops, and then she giggles, okay.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that was her. That's Michelle. That is Michelle. Yeah, she, and a lot of people didn't know that she could sing. That was another thing. You know, a lot of people, they didn't know that. They you know, they knew her for acting, you know, and she was also known for dating, you know, Malcolm Jamal Warner, you know, from, you know, when she, during those years, especially when she was introduced to them on the Cosbys, you know, that she had such a major, you know, well, I wouldn't call it major, but she did have a major presence whenever she was on that show. So, but she was something else. And I remember she also learned a lot from him as well, because, you know, she learned a lot of different things about the movie industry and as far as like filming and production, because she would talk to me about it. And I remember I would say, you also learned that from Malcolm. She was like, yeah, how did you know? Because yeah, I know. You know, but one thing about Michelle, when she loved someone, she loved them. You know, and that was the thing. She loved, and sometimes the love wasn't always reciprocated back to her. You know, back to her. I'm talking about just in terms of just friendship with people. You know, there have been times where, I mean, because I witnessed the times that she, you know, had certain situations that, you know, may have been misunderstood, you know, and possibly the intentions of her heart was, you know, not matching what was perceived, and, you know, and you know, where she was really bothered by the fact that someone else will feel that she would want to bring them any type of harm or anything, and that wasn't her. She wasn't the type of person that wanted to see anyone hurt, you know.
I think we have Penoir back in the house. Is this Penoir?
Hello?
Hello? Okay, so this is, okay, so you're back, your name was James, right?
Jay, yes.
Jay, all right.
I just wanted to say something, because I know that her role on the Steve Urkel show, and everybody knows Steve Urkel, how he portrays this nerdy person and stuff, and, you know, how she was in love with him. And, you know, I just look at Michelle, and I say to myself, you know, she looks like the type of person that would uplift anybody's spirits, no matter whether they, you know, look nerdy or ugly or whatever. She's the type of person that's going to say, look, I've got your back, and I'm going to help you out no matter who you are. And that's just the way, I mean, right. Her character.
Well, I can tell you this, not mean to cut you off anything, but I can attest to the fact that she was definitely a person that was a friend to the person on top as well as the underdog, especially the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was definitely that type of person that was, you know, it didn't matter whether you had $1 million, zillion dollars, or if you was, you know, didn't have a can of tuna to eat out of. You know, there was a certain measure of compassion that she would display or exert, and her mindset was basically one that, hey, I'm fortunate to be in the situation that I'm in, but she's also giving, you know.
Yes.
Because me being in the music industry, you know, and you know how the music industry have its ups and downs, and I was okay, but she would always, you know, like, didn't want me to pay for things. I'd be like, okay, I got it. And she was like, no, I got it. I'm like, no, I got it. Look, chill. I got this. Don't worry about it. And I knew her bank account, because she was like, here, take my ATM and go this, or, you know, go get that for me, you know, because I'm tired or whatever. And so I knew what her bank account looked like, you know, and she was doing okay, you know. So, and, but, you know, I'm just that type of person, you know, that like, you know, I can take care of myself, whatever. But she was very giving. She was, and very, that type of person, I remember one time we went to Gelson's. Was it called Gelson or Gelson's? What is it called? What is it? Is it Gelson's?
I think it's Gelson's.
Gelson's. I always call it Gelson's or Gelson's. Yeah, the market. And we went to that market. Gelson's, okay. Yeah, because I never knew what was the appropriate, But we went into Gelson's and was getting some things, and we walked out, and there was someone who was kind of, less fortunate, didn't have anything, and she said, oh, and they had a kid with them. And she said, do you need anything, blah, 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 blah. And we went right back in and got them some food and groceries and came right back out and gave it to them. Because at first she was just going to give them money, and then I said, Michelle, well, because I'm one of them, type of people.
I'm like, you want some food? I'm gonna give you food.
I'll get you some food because I don't want you to go spend it on drugs or you have a habit or something, and and then now the kid is starving because you didn't, you misappropriated, your gift to something else. So, and we did that. So she was definitely, brother James, that was that person that was really, really what you describe or perceive her to be.
Yes, and I can just see it in her soul. God bless her soul right now, for all the work that she has did on this earth, and and it's just that her soul will be cherished, and everybody else needs to look at her as an upcoming actress or whatever, and say, look, I should be just as genuine and be real about what you do, no matter whether who you come across, whether they're poor or rich or whatever. Just be yourself, and that's what I pick up her soul. She was definitely a person that wouldn't back down, and she would fight the battle for people who are doing right. That's what I pick up. So I want to say God bless her soul, and
Man, she was guys, check this out. We partying, right? We partying so hard that my battery's about to die. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you, because, Benoit brought up Ralph Tresvant in this Mr. Sensitivity song because she thought, so we're going to play this song in tribute to my girl, Michelle Thomas. I'm going to switch batteries, and I'm going to come back to everybody. Y'all with that?
Yeah, we with it. Okay.
All right. All right. I want to say what's going on to everybody in the chat room, Madison Media, Ed Lips, Eric McAllister, hey, all guests. Instead of me saying guest in your number, take 5 minutes. Go register so I can go, hey, Ed Lips, baby. Yo, award-winning Neo Soul Artist 2012 favorite, Eric McAllister up in the house. Award-winning co-host. I like saying award-winning. That sounds so sexy. Award-winning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a sexy look.
Award-winning segment co-host, Mr. Madison Media, sitting there to the 323-977. We've been playing Ralph Tresvant and everybody else, right? And I know X, he hates this. X hates when I make him sing live because this dude's voice is just so sexy. I just don't know what to do with myself sometimes, Sometimes, say that again, baby.
What'd you say?
Oh, don't get me. You know what I'm about to do? My mother said, here's the thing. My mom is telling me I can't sing on my own show. But I'm saying I'm about to get auto-tunes, and I'm about to release a track, and I'm about to have dance moves, and I'm about to make it happen, Kevin. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it all in, no, I can't say that all in the name of Michelle, because that'd be wrong.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. I will do. This is what I'm going to do for you. And I'm going to do, because it's Michelle's birthday, how about we give her one of those, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday Michelle. Happy birthday to you. Something like that.
You know what? And I'm not even gonna try to go behind that because I'm gonna open up Dana Keel, my executive producer, dearest friend, I'm not even going to claim that Ali is my godson because I don't want no more responsibilities because I'm just not trying it. What's going on, DK?
Nothing. We are excited to be here to be a part of the Michelle Thomas birthday celebration show. We are excited coming off of a night of helping to raise awareness about sickle cell. And we're just trying to, get some, be excited. There's a lot of news and a lot of stuff to report. And some of what we talked about this morning, a lot more to talk about. And that's it.
Oh, that's how we make it happen, do you? Wasn't that happy birthday sexy?
Blog Talk Radio, where millions of hosts and listeners gather.